So the comparison trap, oh my goodness, the comparison trap challenge. Boys, this is a tough one. Really interesting, especially again with the times that we live in today. There are millionaires popping up more than ever before, faster than ever before. And it would seem like there are some standards, some social standards out there that one must do when they become a millionaire or when you make your first million. By the way, let's define what a millionaire actually is. Okay, I think a lot of people mess this up. There are net worth millionaires and there are revenue millionaires. Okay, that is a vast difference. Okay, if you're a revenue millionaire, that means that you do over $1 million in revenue per year. That makes you a millionaire. Okay, any one of these other gurus that call themselves a millionaire that hasn't done that and they're calling themselves a multimillionaire, okay, that's an issue. Okay, and I'm gonna call myself out just for doing this. Like, technically, I'm not a multimillionaire, nor am I a millionaire in the revenue sense. Right? I'm a net worth millionaire. That means I've accumulated over $1 million in net worth. And then there's like an in-between, okay? The in-between is the person that has done over $1 million in revenue, but over what stretch or period of time? So for example, for me, 28 years old now, I started my financial coaching practice and YouTube channel back in 2018. So I've been 6 years at it. And over those 6 years, I've generated over $2 million in revenue. Okay, so I'm like in the middle where it's like I have a net worth over $1 million when you add up all my assets minus liabilities, over $1 million plus. Then I've done over $1 million in revenue, but I have not reached $1 million per year revenue. Okay, so just so that we clear that stuff out, and that helps you, the viewer, that are not there yet, who you get your advice from, right? Who you decide to listen to. And that may not be the only standard or metric of measuring who you listen to, because there is wisdom in the single dad out there with 4 kids that's never made over $100,000. There's plenty of wisdom for the single mom out there, even my own mom, that's never made over $100,000+ in her life in any given year. But she has a ton of wisdom. But again, I'm not going to her for necessarily business advice. Anyways, with that being said, this comparison trap, this is where we get into the weeds of it. And I think it's helpful that I shared with you that context of these different types of gurus, these different types of influencers that have different types of money, okay? When you make your first $1 million, it would seem like you need to, I don't know, buy the G-Wagon or buy the Range Rover because it's over 6,000 pounds and you get the tax deduction, right? And we're seeing gurus put this out without any standard of how much money should I be making before I buy the G-Wagon, before I buy the Range Rover. One person I want to use as an example is my good business partner, Alex Albaran, who is someone that is a millionaire, okay? He's done over $1 million in a year, right? And the guy has been in business for multiple years. So he's net worth millionaire. He's accumulated over $1 million+ in revenue in his stretch of time in business. And he is doing over $1 million in revenue per year and is on track to do multiple millions of dollars if he hasn't already done that already by the time this video comes out, or by the time I'm recording this. So I want to use him as an example. This is a guy, most people won't know this, where his journey started in high school. He's now 26, I believe. He's like 2 years younger than me. And so the guy has been on his journey for over a decade. This is a guy that sold his car to start his business. This is a guy that would go to Starbucks and save the cup to do refills so he didn't have to pay another $5, $6 for a cup of coffee. This is a guy that would do his meetings at Starbucks, would Uber to and from and use Starbucks as his office. This is a guy that did not wear fancy clothes, that did not do any of these different things. We're talking a consistency. I've only known him for 6 years. And in those 6 years, I've known him to be a very frugal, mindful manager over his resources and money. It wasn't until the last fifth year of our relationship that he bought a G-Wagon, a Rolls Royce, a house, and started making these big, large item purchases. So when we watch people like Alex and others who have success, what we're missing, what we're not seeing, is the pain, the suffering, the toiling, the hard work, the no's, the rejections, all these different things finally for him or her to get to that point. And now they're sharing with you the Ferrari, the Lamborghini, the big house that they're now in. And now you're watching this video. Maybe you're a multiple six-figure earner like myself. Maybe you're a low six-figure earner, a high five-figure earner. And maybe you had a big year, a $300,000 year, a $500,000 year, a $900,000 year. Maybe you're having a really good year and you're surrounding yourself, which is good, with other people who are making multiple millions of dollars and they're driving nice fancy cars and they got nice big homes. And trust me, it can be intimidating because now the alpha's got to come out, right? And you've got to now buy yourself the house. You have to buy the car, get the deduction and do the cost segregation and do all these different things to multiply your money and keep growing. But here's the thing. Once you buy those expensive cars, my friend, you have now set a new standard of excellence, a new standard of maintenance, a new standard of living that will increase all of your costs, personal and business. So to avoid falling into these comparison traps, I'm going to keep referring back to my number one rule in life, which is seek the kingdom and find your who. When you seek the kingdom first, and you find your who, mentors, people that will not convince, persuade, or sell you into or out of anything. They're going to help you process decisions. They're going to coach you through these decisions. When you're able to find an Alex in your life that doesn't pressure you to buy things, right, to invest in things just because they did, but rather they encourage you to elevate your game to get to the next level. That's your who that you want to look for. Someone that's not going to say, hey man, I'm on the way to the Bentley dealership, the Rolls Royce. Do you want to come with me and we buy a pair together? Hey, I'm looking at these $1 million homes on the coast. Do you want to come with me? And they sort of braggadociously, if that's even a word, share all their success with you, right? Or even people that you love on social media that you follow, where maybe you've been following them for 3-4 years and they've helped you start a business and their trajectory has been like this and yours has been like this. And one day they start posting their pictures on different ends of the earth, all the different vacations they're going on, the expensive cars they're driving and the expensive house and the expensive food that they buy and the clothes and the Gucci and the Prada and the Ferragamo, right? And all these things. And you're like, hold on. I need to go do this now because that's my guru, that's my influencer, that person changed my life. Look, by me getting those things, that's gonna force me to now do more activity, make more money, and ultimately live the lifestyle that I want. It's like, well, hold on. You're now comparing yourself to your favorite guru, to your favorite influencer, to your favorite mentor or coach. That's their life. Is it yours? Is it truly your desire to live that rich lifestyle? Is that truly what it is? Like, you need to ask yourself, be totally honest, look yourself in the mirror, take everyone out of the equation. Do I want these material things? Do I actually desire them? Or am I being persuaded, convinced, sold into getting these things because it'll display a certain image or status of which will get me more higher end clients? I can tell you, me personally, I've gone through this process of comparing myself to successful people, even close friends of mine, even like a close business partner, like in my example, like Alex, right? Just being totally authentic and understanding that, oh, wait a minute, that's my buddy's life. And this is my other buddy's life. And this is my business partner's life. And this is my other business partner's life. And this is my other fellow content creators that I hang out with and spend time with. Finance Geek, Denzel Napoleon Rodriguez, I'm not that guy. I'm a guy that loves to wear shorts and a gym shirt, right? Shorts and a plain tee. Plain gym shorts, slides, Nike slides, Nike down, right? Like, I'm a simple guy. I don't need to wear these expensive clothes. Now, on the other hand, one thing I do absolutely desire is to make people laugh, right? Bring joy into their lives. And I also like to perform. What do I mean by that? When I say perform, I love to put on a show for my clients in a way that dramatically changes their life. I think about Cirque du Soleil, which is this show that this big group of people that they put on this amazing, incredible, life-changing, life-taking, breathtaking performance. I'm telling you, if you've ever been to Cirque du Soleil, comment below. It's incredible. If you've never gone, put that on your list. I encourage you, from the perspective of being able to see someone operate at their peak, highest, best performance. I like to bring the Cirque du Soleil model into my financial coaching practice. How can I show up for my clients in the most powerful, impactful way? How can I put on a show for them, entertain them, right? Inspire them, encourage them. These are not bad things. The difference between living the lavish lifestyle and experiencing it, two vastly different things, right? So for the person that owns a Lamborghini versus someone like me that would just like to drive it a couple times out of the year, nothing crazy. So either I have two options. Either I buy one and rent it out and create an asset over it. I could find a who that has a Lamborghini and just spend time with them and hang out with them and be a passenger princess or passenger prince, right? That would bring joy to me, knowing someone that has those things. I don't necessarily desire those things, but I would like to experience those things, right? So you have to look yourself dead in the mirror and ask yourself, are these things I actually want? Or do I want to maybe experience it once or two times a year, nothing crazy? And then we allocate the budget and you get on a call with your boy and we map that out together. We map out the finances that make sense to live that lifestyle, right? This home that I live in, right? This was something well thought out for me, for my family, for my fiance. Well thought out, well planned, well managed. And I absolutely enjoy it. And I don't compare myself to someone else that maybe makes around what I make, or they make more than what I make, and I find them to be influential in my life. I'm not trying to go buy another home right away. I'm on my own journey. I'm in my own path, and I'm living a rich, intentional life. In fact, there's many people that are living a fake rich life and don't even realize it, no matter how much money you make. I know clients that are making 70, 80, 90, 100, 150 grand a year that have a house as expensive as mine. They have cars more expensive than mine. They have clothes more expensive than me. And I'm like, how are you doing this? This is insane. Living a fake rich life rather than a rich intentional life. You can live rich now, no matter how much money you make, just by being intentional with the type of foods you put in your body, the type of clothes you wear, the type of people you hang out with, the type of books you read, the type of channels that you watch. Being intentional is a pathway to being or becoming rich, staying rich, and perpetuating richness, right? This is impactful stuff. So again, avoiding comparing yourself to others. Seek the kingdom first. Find a who. Literally take time, almost like putting together a vision board. What I do with my clients is we literally map out their financial freedom lifestyle. How many times you want to go get your nails done, feet done, hair done, right? The facials, the massages, the chiropractic, the high-end foods, the vacations, the home, the boat, the cars, how many boats. Like, we just literally map it all out. And we come out to a number. Something that was quite interesting, I was actually doing this exercise with a client, a mom in her late 50s, and we put together her whole financial freedom lifestyle. It involved having a private driver that would drive her around. It involved going on multiple vacations per year. It involved having a certain kind of, a private chef to prep all her meals, right? And we also added in all her needs and living expenses and just the things that we often do. And we tallied up the numbers all together and come to find out it only costs 20 grand a month to live that life. 21,000 a month to live her financial freedom lifestyle that we mapped out with clear, positive confidence over that. Clear. It was positive. It was confident. It was joyful. It brought joy. It brought peace. It brought happiness. It brought love. It brought to her eyes, right? It was amazing. And we were like, wow, it's only 21 grand a month to live this way. And the gap between where we want to go and where she's at, we were like 50% of the way there already, and she didn't even know. Why? Because we're comparing ourselves to these other lifestyles, and we're thinking we need to make millions and millions of dollars to live that rich, intentional life that we ultimately want to live. For me, my financial freedom lifestyle will cost in the neighborhood roughly $200,000 a month, right? So it's a couple $1 million a year. Very intentional, right? And the reason why I mapped that out, I'm 28 years old now, so when you factor in inflation and taxes and all this stuff and the devaluation of the dollar and all this and all that, that's where that number ended up being, somewhere around 200K a month. Financial independence, though, for me, is only 22 plus thousand a month. Meaning my current lifestyle today, the way I currently live and operate today, which I'm in contentment for, grateful for, happy for. If my Father in heaven kept me here, I'll be fine. I'm gonna be more happy no matter what. If I have more things or less things, no things, in between things, I'm gonna be happy no matter what, because of the conviction and the faith that I have internally and the mindset, the abundance that I have. It is what it is. But now that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop or reduce because of that contentment. I'm going to keep working and operating at my highest level because I don't know what my Father in heaven has for me. There's things that He lets me know, and there's things that I don't know that He leaves to a mystery. And that's awesome in life, and I'm okay with that. Right? So when I look at Financial independence is another way that I reduce the comparison trap that people face. Is we need to look at what does it cost to live your lifestyle today, and how much guaranteed passive income can we create to supply that lifestyle for life. That would be financial independence. And then anything above that, the gap between financial independence and financial freedom is ultimately a lifestyle that you want to live intentionally, that may include having multiple boats, multiple cars, multiple homes, multiple vacations, whatever it may be, expensive clothes, not so expensive clothes. You just literally map all that out. See what the number comes out to. Shoot, it might be right close to your financial independence number, right? It might only be 5-10 grand away. And so when we can cater your business, when we can cater how you serve people, how you show up to match that lifestyle that you ultimately desire, that avoids you comparing yourself to what the other guru, what the other business people, what the other people in your industry are doing. And it literally is you versus you in your own race, in your own life. And with that, I hope you take this, jot down the notes, key takeaways, figure out your financial independence number, figure out your financial freedom number. Literally dollar cost map out, what does it cost to live that lifestyle that you truly desire, not what you see online. What do you truly desire? This will give you a framework to avoid the comparison trap that can lead you in pain, suffering, sorrow, turmoil, identity crisis as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. Just gonna get to avoid all that. It's just you versus you. You're in your own race. So have fun.